In today's show, we're looking at the current fantasy playoffs and what to do for the rest of the week. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at Yahoo Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Just trying something new for this show today. Most of you are in the first week of playoffs, might be the second week of playoffs, you might have a bye, whatever it is, but we're trying something new. Let me know if it's useful. Drop that in the comments down below when we do it. But what we're looking at is not for Wednesday's games, because there's 12 games on. So if you're going to add someone, you're probably not going to have an open roster spot, and the information here is probably going to be too late for you. Now, this can't account for weird injuries that happen in the next 4 days. But what I want to look at here is over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, players that you can look at who are going to give you the most bang for your buck. We're still going to be doing the what to watch for and daily streaming options. We're still going to be talking about that. But what we're looking at today is if you add someone now for those last 4 days of the week, how can they help you? And we're going to cover it for Yahoo points leagues, ESPN points leagues, and we're going to cover categorical specific stuff for category leagues. Who can help you win points and threes, rebounds, assists, blah, blah, blah. On and on and on. That way, let's talk about it right now. Let's start with Yahoo points leagues. These are guys I think you can look to add over the next for Thursday onwards that are going to give you the most bang for your buck. Jalen McDaniels, these are all players rostered in under 50% of leagues. Jalen McDaniels, 3 games left for the Hornets, 3 starts left for McDaniels, maybe 100 minutes played. There's some real value there for him. He should be on a roster anyway, but he's not, apparently, 50% available, over 50% available. And with 3 games coming in the last 4 days of the week, an absolute no-brainer add. Tristan Thompson might seem like a weird one, but like the Hornets, the Celtics have 3 games. We don't know when Rob Williams is going to be back. He might not be back at all. So we might get 28 minutes a night from Tristan Thompson for 3 games over the last 4 days of the week. Great option for him. Cole Anthony, killing it at the moment. Now the Magic do only have 2 games, but that really doesn't matter to me given how much he is or how well he is playing. I don't expect Carter Williams to start over him. That would be absolutely asinine, and I will rip Steve Clifford a gigantic gaping arsehole if he does it. Not that that matters, because he won't change his mind, but I'll still do it anyway. But Cole Anthony should be rostered, and he's got a pretty sizable opportunity here. Kevon Looney for the Warriors. Toscano Anderson won't be back. Pascal won't be back. Wiseman definitely won't be back. Most likely here. No, Wiseman definitely won't be back. The other 2 most likely won't be back. The Warriors have 2 more games in the last 4 days. Looney's playing more minutes than usual, and he's available everywhere. He can be an option for you. And then another Orlando Magic player, Chuma Akiki, can be someone we take a look at with 2 more games remaining this week, available in a lot of different spots. Chuma can be an add to help you in your Yahoo fantasy points leagues. Let's go to ESPN points leagues. Again, these guys all rostered in under 50% of ESPN leagues. We talked about Jalen McDaniels already. Let's talk about Alf, Isaiah Stewart. Will he start over Mason Plumlee? I don't know. I hope so. I doubt it. But the Pistons do have 2 games, and one of them is a back-to-back. So we get at least 1 start out of that, and he's going to put up big numbers. So 2 games for Alf in the coming 4 days, not including Wednesday's game. It should be rostered anyway, but apparently on ESPN, he's not. So add him. Jayshawn Tate, the Wild Thing. The Rockets have 2 games. He's got tremendous amount of value in these games. Again, a guy that should be rostered in all of these formats, really, but he's available in over 50% of ESPN leagues. Go and add him. Tristan Thompson for the 3 games, really no-brainer to me there. And Kevon Looney, another option as well on ESPN Points League. So there's your Points League ads that we can do over those last 4 days of the week. Again, you still want to be looking at using your acquisitions to stream guys in on a day-by-day basis, but adding these guys for Thursday gives you the most bang for your buck for just 1 acquisition. Let's go to category leagues now. If we're streaming in points, for the points category, this is not generic points league, this is category leagues, streaming in the points category. Jordan Poole, what he does is score. Might be 2 games, but he might get you 30 points. Tristan Thompson, he won't score a huge amount, but 12 points over 3 games, 36 points. There's value in that. Cody Zeller. Yeah, Cody Zeller, really? Yeah. Well, I don't think Vernon Carey is going to be playing a huge amount. Zeller has 3 games. Maybe he gets 10 points in each game. Like, it isn't easy to pick up 30 points off a waiver wire. Bryn Forbes. You're going to say, Josh, you think Bryn Forbes is shit. And I'm going to say, random person commenting, yes, he is. But the Bucks play 3 games. There's a back-to-back. There's a chance that Dante DiVincenzo sits. There's a chance that all of their starters sit one of those games. And Forbes is going to score. So I would take that flyer. And Patty Williams, again, not a great offensive player, but the options that are available to you, and he does play the 2 games, and he can be a 12-point guy, 11-point guy, which is fine over 2 games. Let's look at threes. Again, Forbes is right at the top there. 3 games, could be a start in 1 or 2 of them. Options for you. Geordie Poole, we know he's going to bang in threes. Pat Mills, 2 games for the Spurs. Mills is going to be draining threes, no doubt about that. Paddy Connaughton, another Bucks player, 3 games for the Bucks. Connaughton's not good, but in 3 games, can he hit 6 triples? Maybe. And then Furky from Turkey, Furkan Korkmaz, he's been absolutely lighting it up. The Sixers have 2 games, and you can get some really strong value from him as well. And their matchups are against teams that do allow a lot of 3-pointers as well. Rebounds, Tristan Thompson, obvious one. Kevon Looney, Cody Zeller, we've talked about these guys already. Paddy Connaughton with the 3 games is a decent rebounder. And Cody Martin, 3 games for the Hornets. He is a pretty strong rebounder. We don't know what his role will be. He'll probably play minimum 20 minutes, but there's a chance for him to do more than that there as well. For assists, Killian Hayes for the Detroit Pistons. There is a back-to-back, so perhaps he doesn't play both of those, but we don't know that for sure. But his ability to get assists is useful for you, and I think he's going to be playing some good minutes. Thomas Satoransky will come off the bench for the Bulls, but there's no reason in the 2 games the Bulls play that he plays off the bench in his 40 minutes or so that he can't get 9 assists. He still generates assists off the bench. Brad Wanamaker, the 3 games tips the scales for him as the backup point guard with no LaMelo Ball. Facu Campazzo, the starter for the Nuggets, 2 games, 10 assists, 12 assists. Not average, but total, perhaps. And then Cody Martin, a guy that does have some passing ability. Again, the 3 games tips it in his favor, giving him that extra option to get... Look, he can get 5 or 6 assists. And in 3 games, get 15 assists. Shit, it's pretty good. Steals, Facu. No-brainer. Cody Martin, another guy that in a name that you see popping up a lot here. DeAnthony Melton, my man, the wave pool. Should be rostered in every league anyway. I fear for my mental health what Taylor Jenkins does for his minutes. But we are seeing a groundswell. Have you seen the amount of people that tagged me and stuff today? Josh, everyone's talking about DeAnthony Melton. Like, no shit. I've been talking about him for 2 years. He's good. He's really good. And now people are actually realizing just how good he is. Hopefully, someone just gives Taylor the tap on the shoulder and go, mate, can you stop with the bullshit? It won't happen, but hopefully it does. Anyway, Caleb Martin, 3 games for him as well. He's going to have a solid bench role. And then Kent Bazemore probably starts the 2 games for the Warriors and can have... Look, best case scenario, 5 steals. That's possible. Blocks. Drew Eubanks coming off the bench behind Jakob Poeltl, but producing really well. And with 2 games, he can help Alex Len. Scott Brooks is a coach in the NBA. He's a bad one, but he's a coach, and he's starting Alex Len, and Alex Len can block 1.5, 2 shots a game. That's valuable. Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm going to whisper something here, so you're going to have to get really close to your speaker. Isaiah Hartenstein's been better than Jared Allen recently. Now, I don't know if JB Bickerstaff, hope everything's okay. He's away from the team. The Cavs replacement coach thinks, hey, we've got to keep Big Hardy in there. But he can block shots in a hurry. He can block 3 shots in 18 minutes. So that's what he can do. Kenyon Martin Jr., a big shot blocker at the non-traditional position. 2 games for the Rockets. And Maxi Kleber, a guy who historically has been a really good shot blocker, except this season has been shithouse at it. Let's hope that he can start to turn that around with the Mavericks 2 games. Field goal percentage, Jackson Hayes, really, really good field goal percentage streamer. Kevon Looney, Cody Zeller, Drew Eubanks, Alex Len, all players we've talked about in other areas that can influence that category for you. Free throw percentage, Geordie Poole, great free throw shooter. Brady Wanamaker, decent enough volume you'll get over the 3 games there. Lou Williams, one of the best free throw percentage influencers out there, had a really good game last time for the Hawks. I wouldn't expect that all the time, but he's going to get to the line. He's going to hit him. Shake Milton of the Philadelphia 76ers. He can get to the line and he can hit him at a decent rate. Emmanuel quickly, a really strong free throw rate. Played 20 minutes a night the last couple under Tommy Thibodeau. Let's see if that continues. I have my doubts, but he can be a good free throw percentage influencer as well. Just to round things off, if you want to add guys to help you win turnovers, TJ Warren, James Wiseman, Miles Turner, Klay Thompson, and LaMarcus Aldridge, they're going to be your best bets to get 0 turnovers for this coming week. If you aren't aware, that last little segment is sarcasm. You don't add those guys to win turnovers. Anyway, they will help you win it because they get 0 stats because they're not playing. Anyway, that's just me taking the piss. All right, guys, we are done here. Don't forget, follow this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Can't believe I have to throw that disclaimer in there. Stitcher, Spotify, and on Odyssey while on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, give the thumbs up, ring my ding-a-ling-a-bell. Leave a comment down below, guys. We are done here. Hey, actually leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of this format because we'll do it every week in the playoffs if it's useful for you. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.